Hi everyone, it's Cara here. I'm back with another Friday Artiscape. So today I am working in my Canson One Art Journal again, and I'm doing just a single page today, which is unusual for me. So yeah, I am just laying down a thin layer of pink paint. So I've got these three big tubes of paint that are left and I'm trying to use them up, and I thought I'd pull out a couple of prompts from my prompt stack, and out popped the prompt pink. So I'm just using the pink with white and black, and first of all I've mixed quite a lot of white with the pink to make it very, very pale. So I pop all that down, as you can see, just with a what's that thing called, palette knife. Pop it down with a palette knife so I get a nice sort of uneven look to the page. I don't want it to look obviously perfect. I'm just making a background. So I then grab some more pink and pop a little less white with it so that I'm getting a darker hue of pink every time I do this. This stencil is a Dina Wakley media stencil, I believe. It's called Shape Mashup. And it's just got some great, as you can see, sort of ovals, or squovals they're actually called, square ovaled, squares with oval corners. They're called squovals, I'm told. It's also got some hexagons and some little squares on it as well. So I'm just adding some of these squovals in 3 places on my page. I do like to add in 3s. It does draw your attention to the page when you've got like the 3 points sort of making that triangular shape. And as we all know, odd numbers are pleasing to the eye in artwork. Now, using the same stencil, I've just grabbed those little squares and again mix up some paint, but a little bit darker than the last lot of paint that I just mixed up. So every time I'm just adding a little bit less white to get that sort of darker pink colour, but still just using those same colours. It's a Fineliner art acrylic paint, and it's just called Magenta. Then I'm mixing it with my Rowney graduate acrylic in titanium white. You can see I'm auditioning a few other stencils to see what else I feel might go on this background. And I grab out one of my new Dina Wakley media stencils, which is called Burst Coaster. It's like little rays of sunshine, and I absolutely love it. I only got it, well, at the beginning of the year when I popped back to the UK, and this was my first time using it. I did film this about a month ago, so it is not going to be live until about, I think, a couple of weeks, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks into February. But this is my first time using this stencil and I just love it. I decided to go all the way to the edge so that you do get that curved look, but you could just as easily sort of fade those out so you don't get that circular look in the stencil. And then I've grabbed out this little journal, which I use as my Use It Up journal. I don't really like wastage, so I've just scraped the rest of that pink paint onto another page in another journal. And that will be the start of a background for later. I do find that a really useful thing to do. I never waste paint, so if ever you see on my palette or on, in this case, on that little bit of plastic, any leftover paint, I don't always do it on camera, but quite often I do. But it'll always go into another journal. I have a couple of journals here, so I'll just scrape it on or put it through the stencil, depending on what mood I'm in. Now, sticking with my pink theme, I've got out my pink Stadler or Stedler, however you pronounce it where you're from, acrylic paint marker. So just prime that onto the side of my mat there, get the ink flowing, and then I'm bashing it with a pair of scissors to get the ink onto my page. You can flick the pens and that will work as well, but I've had an operation on my arm last year, or both arms last year, and I haven't really got the strength in my arms to flick it on, so I find the scissors help a lot. Now I've just got some background building stamps. This is a very cheap set of stamps. It's from Temu. We have Temu in the UK. They do have it here in Morocco as well, but I haven't ordered anything from here, so I don't know if where you're from they have it, but it's a very cheap website that sells lots of sort of cheap, non-named bits and bobs. I do believe they do sometimes rip off some designers, so just be careful with what you are buying. But yeah, this one is just a basic numbers, and it's a set of, I think there are 6 different numbery stamps in the set, and I'm just using a few of them to add some texture to my page. I've only got one acrylic block with me here in Morocco, which is a Ecolutions one, and it is kind of A5 size, so it's quite big. So as you can see there, I'm sticking my stamp onto a gift card. Anything flat will work. You do not have to have all the fancy gadgets that they tell you. When I first started journaling, I was told, you know, you can't stamp without using a rocker block or without using a stamping platform. Well, that's all untrue. Use what you have. And I've used lids of gesso pots before. You know, as I said, I've just used a gift card, so that's great. Now I've added some black paint, and what I use to make the circles is just an old lid of a glue stick. So just save yourself your lids. The glue stick ones are quite nice because they're deep, so you can grab hold of them. I quite often use like water bottle or milk bottle lids as well. They are narrower or thinner or not as deep, however you'd like to describe it. And sometimes I get quite a lot of paint on my fingers, which doesn't bother me, but if it does bother you, the glue stick lids are perfect for that. So I just added a few circles around my page just to give it that a bit more of that depth. The black paint is obviously darker than the black ink pad that I used to do the stamping, which was just an Archival jet black. But the paint in lamp black gives you that darker black. So I just added a few elements of that. And then I also used the rest of the black paint to do some splatter with. So just wet that and splattered it on with my fan brush. This gorgeous image is from the, I believe, Face It book from Collage Soup. And I loved this page when I first saw it. I printed it, and because I get the ebooks, which is a great solution for travellers like me who don't have the weight in their luggage to carry around all the Collage Soup books that I'd love to carry around. So I buy the ebooks and therefore can print pages as and when I want them, and only print the pages I want. I will say that sometimes having the book in front of you means you will use more of it. I do own a couple of the books in actual book form, and I do find that flipping through the pages, I will use certain elements of pages. I believe I put one on in this video, in fact. Whereas if you've got to print the page out, I might not necessarily print a page of hearts or, I don't know, a page of boots or something if I'm thinking of adding some boots to someone. Whereas if it's in the book, I will use it up. So there are pros and cons to having the ebook compared to having the actual book in your hands. So anyway, as I said, this one is from the Face It book, which is a collaboration with Claire Stead or Steed, Art Journal Love on here. I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard of her. If not, go and check her out. She is amazing. And then what I've done is I've used my Stabilo All Pencil just to extend that image so that she's not floating. It's in black and white anyway, so I've just used the Stabilo All and activated that a little bit to give the same kind of sketchy lines that's in that background image. And I really liked how that turned out. So she looks like she's got a proper body now and not just floating in space. This is the Stabilo, no it's not, it's the Uniball Signo pen. It's the only white gel pen that I seem to get to work for me. So I've got a few of them, and I just used it there to recolour, if you like, the whites of the eyes and the freckles in the eyes. I just find that when you put the white on top of the white paper, it does make them pop and it gives the figure a little bit more life. Just the way I do it. Not everyone is, you know, does it the same way. So here's what I'm talking about. I've got this book. This is the Collage Soup Fundamentals book. Again, a great book, a collaboration with Neve Bailey. Again, you can find her on here. She's another amazing YouTuber that does art journaling. And I wouldn't have necessarily printed this page of crowns, but because I've got it in the book, I've cut one out to pop on my lady's head just as a extra. It actually is because in those sentiments to the side there, which are Ranger, Dyan, Reavely, Bigger Back Chat stickers, there was the quote that I'm going to use, and it says about having a crown. So I flipped through to see if I had a crown to put on her before putting the quote on it. And it says something like, my dentist said I needed a crown. And I was like, I know, right? Which I thought was quite funny. And as I said, then she really needed a crown. So she looked shocked. So, you know, shocked face from the dentist, but also now she's actually got a crown on her head. So, yeah, sometimes, going back to what I was saying, having the book there is a good thing because, like I said, I wouldn't have necessarily printed a page of crowns out. I have to pay for every print that I print here. As a traveller, I don't have my own printer, so I consider what I print to be quite precious, and I wouldn't have used a whole page of crowns. I'd rather print, you know, the faces or a bigger focal image for myself to use, but everyone's different. So here I am, I've stuck the crown on and I'm just sticking the stickers down. These stickers have lasted so well. I travel, as I've mentioned, and the countries we go to are hot countries, which was the point of us travelling. And quite a lot of the stickers I have lose stickiness easily because of the hot countries, the hot weather. But these ones have managed to stay sticky, and I've had these, I don't even know how long, but we've been here in Morocco for a year now, so at least a year, and they are still sticky, and I love them. Now, I've stuck the crown down. I just used my Bic Ecolutions glue stick, which is a really good glue stick. And then I've highlighted the bottoms of those quote stickers, again using my Stabilo All, and then I've activated that with water. Then just the top and bottom corners. I don't always put a border around the whole page. Quite often I do, but if not, I do border some of it. Like here, I've done the top and bottom corners. And again, I've just activated that Stabilo All with some water. Now, this pen is an amazing pen. Again, I've had this for such a long time. It came in a set of about 12. They're from Ohuhu. I think that's how you say it. Ohuhu. And these are the dual tip dot pens. Now, I only have the gold and silver left because they run out so easily because I use them a lot. But I did buy 2 packets and the gold and silver have managed to come with me. And I just put a few accent dots around my page and that's it finished. So here are some close-ups. Please give me a like and subscribe if you've liked this video. I go live with a video every Friday at 5 for your Friday Art Escape. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.